how how should we think about SEOs when it has AI driven predictive search, or how do we make sure we're hitting on what AI is proactively trying to find for someone to capture their question?
As a business, when it comes to SEO, you just got to be thorough in your marketing and cover a topic in every single way, as well as hopefully have a product or service that solves people's problem. But when you're looking at the predictive side, let's use Google for example, because that's one that everyone can relate to. Most people may have an iPhone or Android device. If you have an Android device, they have data on you. If you're using Gmail, even if it's on an Apple phone or Chrome, they have data on you. Sites running Google Analytics, they have more data, right? Your search history, they have more and more data. So when you think about this, they're eventually have this big repository of information, which they can use to better understand what you, John or Eli or Marie or Neil or whoever it may be, is specifically looking for and show them that. Now, as a website, you may say, hey, I want to show up for all these people and I want to capture it. That is very, very tough because unless your product or service hits all demographics, people in different regions and all those little different things, you're not going to show up for everyone. And you just have to be okay with that. But the more applicable your product is for different people, different price points, different regions, etc., you're much more likely to show up. But the world of search is going to change in which instead of 10 blue links, which it's already gone away from, it's more so going to be every person eventually is going to have a unique experience and they're going to showcase information for that individual. But what we're seeing is these platforms trust brands more than people who don't have a brand. And when I say people, I more so mean companies, because one thing that's been consistent is they believe that brands are less likely to put out false information on the web compared to companies and individuals who don't have brands. So if you want to do well in this new world, it's really important to focus on building up your brand individually, corporation, right? What you'll see is you have a higher likelihood of showing up.
Can we double click into that for a second? Because conceptually I understand what you mean, but how does someone actually do that? How do you shift from being just a company to a brand in the AI world, besides just pumping out a ton of AI generated content from ChatGPT? Like, what's the concept you have people focus on?
So the first two are good product and good service. If you look at Air Jordans, for example, everyone knows the brand, they've seen it, they Google it, they generate more sales from people knowing it than someone searching the keyword, basketball shoes, for example.
Hmm.
Has one of the biggest brands out there. So the first thing is good product or good service because that gets your brand out there and it creates word of mouth marketing. Just like how most people, on this call right now don't live in China, or probably almost everyone doesn't live in China. And we all know about the Huawei threefold phone, right? Because the brand got out there, created a ton of press and buzz. So good product, good service. Two is being omni-channel. So being on social media, the average person uses 6.7 social networks per month, according to Sprout Social, where they're actually logging in each month into at least 6.7 social networks. The next thing is do general marketing, SEO, paid ads, etc. So when you start doing all this stuff, your brand's getting out there, your corporate brand. And LLMs notice, hey, how many people are talking about this brand on the web? Is it a lot? Is it little? Is the sentiment positive? Because they're much better at actually understanding what people are saying versus what they're not. These things impact how likely you are to show up in the long run.